Hi, Janice Wheeler here. I'm the president of The Art of Management. We're a Canadian practice management company that has been for 31 years helping Canadian practitioners achieve their goals. And we've been very successful at doing this. And it's interesting because we're in a pandemic right now, and some of our clients are back at work and some of them aren't. Ontario, where I am, is still on lockdown, but hopefully coming out of it soon. We went through, when we started our business, for the first 4 years, we were in Canada's deepest recession. That's how we started our business. So we had to right away get to be total experts of how you handle this. Because at that time, most practitioners were going down year after year for 2 or 3 years, sometimes 4 years, as patients were losing their jobs and not having income or losing their insurance policies. It was a very worrisome time. Our mortgages were 19%, I know, because I had one, and it was quite an ordeal to get through. However, our clients during that same period of time, when we were working with them, were going up $100,000 to $200,000 a year during that period. So there are tools to be known, and I thought I would start off with one of the tools that we usually start off with when we're working with a client. Like, what is your purpose for having this practice? Is it just an income source? You just want to make money? You just want to see that bank account growing? Or is it that you want to give awesome service to every person that walks in your practice every day? Because that's why you became a doctor or a healthcare provider. That's a good one. I'm not going to evaluate though and tell you what's good and bad. I shouldn't have said that, because some people want to have an awesome team to work with. There's many purposes and sub-purposes about having a practice. When you first went to school, let's take purposes back a step. When you first went to school, your purpose was to graduate and get your license, right? So you were very focused on that, and you were very going in that direction, man, and you did it. And then you graduated. Good. Now, what was your next purpose? Some will go to Europe on a trip just to take a break. Most people get busy working for someone else as an associate so that you get an income stream going, because now you have a lot of debts, student loans, and so on. So you got a job working for someone and worked along, and maybe you wanted a mentor for a little bit, that sort of thing. And that's always good if you can do that. Then one day, maybe 2 years or 5 years later, maybe you decided, okay, now my purpose is to own a practice. So you decide whether you want to buy one or start one from scratch your way, or want to be a partner in a practice that's already established. Those are options, and you have to figure out what your purpose is again. And if it's to have your own practice, good. If it's to be a partner, fine. And if it's to start one from scratch, heavens above, do it. There are ways to do it very fast. We've helped clients do startups. They don't have to take a long time if you've got all the management tools to do it, and you do everything right, the right way, right off the bat, instead of doing the school of hard knocks. It can be very satisfying to see that fast growth. Now that you have your own practice, so now what is the purpose of your practice? Is it to work a certain number of hours a day and go home and have a life? I mean, some people actually view what they're doing that way. Maybe they didn't choose their profession. Maybe their parents chose it for them, or, maybe they don't love it as much as they used to. Although I have to tell you, in meeting with 6,000 healthcare professionals over the last 31 years to analyze their practice and do an assessment, I have to tell you, there are a fair number of people who became the profession that they are because they were made to, and they would like to get out of it, and we've helped them do that if they want to. And there are others that they just want to get through their day, and they have no management tools to fall back on, and they've gone into apathy about ever reaching any goals or purposes that they have. So going past that, now you've got your now here you are, you have your practice, and now we've got a pandemic, and it's changing everything. I mean, the news is calling it the new normal. I'm calling it the new abnormal, because things are not going to go back the way they were. We already know this from our clients who are back in practice. Eventually things may calm down, and I'm hoping so, but I think it's going to be changed, and we're watching these changes in the ones that are open and sort of trying to predict where it's going to go to. So treating this as the new abnormal, change the way you think about your purposes in your practice and where you want it to go. This is your time to do this. Okay, good. Now, once you've figured out your purposes and you've written them down, and you can have like 10 different purposes, you know, to run an awesome practice, to have it make a good profit, to have the best possible team that can be hired, that really works with me and helps me deliver the most amazing service to our patients. I mean, wow, you can like really put it down what you want, and now you have to have the intention. So number 2 point, so purpose first. Number 2, now you need intention to bring that about. You can have a purpose sitting there nicely written up and everything, but if you don't have the intention to make it happen, the drive or the push, then it's never going to go anywhere. So I'm sure you've found yourself making, you know, New Year's resolutions or setting up goals in the past, and you didn't achieve them, and they kind of are sitting in a drawer somewhere. Maybe you have a desk drawer where you shove them in there and you haven't looked at them for a while. That's because you didn't have enough drive or push to actually get them done, and that is the word intention for my purposes today. It's like having a map that you have a dot where you want to go, and here's where you are, but there's no roads that seem to get there, and you're not sure how to get there. Well, you've got to work it out. I remember telling a story in my seminar a long time ago. I used to do this story about this guy who was trying to get to a certain place, and he couldn't figure out how to get there on his map. So he went to a garage station, got some gas, and asked the owner, like, how do I get here? And the garage guy, he goes like this, and he goes like this, and he looks at it every which way, and finally says, you know what, you can't get there from here. Well, that's a very cute story, but it isn't actually true. I'm sure there are places in the world you can't get to very easily, but there's always a helicopter or some way of getting in, almost always. So there is with your goals and your purposes that you have for your practice. So having the intention to get there and to drive the practice in that direction is number 2. Number 3, I want to emphasize the word focus. There are a lot of things right now that are distracting us. There's a lot of stupid news, good news, bad news, fake news, you know, people's guesswork as to what's going to happen and so on. And they're very distracting, shall we say. And you need to actually put the blinders on and be focused on where you want to go. It's a little hard if you're at home right now and you're homeschooling your kids. I know that's really, really rough for some of our clients. Mine's all grown up and actually works for me. So she's helping me with various things and keeping things moving along in the meantime. And so these are, you know, distractions that you could have that are not bad distractions. Teaching kids is not a bad distraction. It's just you need to have some time for your business every day to focus on how you're going to get opened if you aren't, and if you're already open, how to get this practice back onto a new track, really. So focus is part of it. So you've got your purposes, you've got intention to get there. Now you need to focus and get there. And then the third thing is you need to be a good leader. This is something that is so key with every client that we work with. The reason that they go up hundreds of thousands a year is because we gave them tools to manage their practice with, statistical tools to know what caused things to happen each week and what to do about it. If it was good, how to keep it. If it was bad, how to get rid of it. You know, how to guide your staff, how to delegate, how to give orders, how to train staff from scratch to do things the way you want them done, to encourage them to bring out their best skills. You know, then there's all your treatment plan presentation skills, because patients are going to need you to be the best that you can be at sales skills. Anyway, so leadership skills to lead your practice in that direction with focus and intention is the 4th point, therefore. And then the 5th one is being coordinated. you need to coordinate your team because they all have purposes, and their purpose might be to come in, do their day, and go home and get paid at the end of the week. That just does not work for an ideal practice. So you need to coordinate them. This is our direction. This is our mission statement for the practice. This is the job descriptions, and at the end of which it says, and any other things that will make the practice grow, so that they can't say, well, that's not on my job description, that kind of thing. Okay, so you need to have little special clauses at the end of their job descriptions so that they are all on the team and not individuated. And well, I'm not staying late, I don't want to stay and help you with this patient, it's 5 o'clock, it's time for me to go home. What can I say about that? We work through this with our clients and help them, because people are people and they need guidance, and you need to be the guider because you are the leader. So being the coordinator, because sometimes staff will have an idea, well, let's go off in this direction, and you don't want to go in that direction with your practice. You want to get them back in line, going all in agreement in the same direction, and have that awesome team, because that is how you're going to get through this. Having purposes that are well stated that you want, having the intention in yourself to get that done, focusing on getting it done, leading the team, being a good leader with them, and knowing your management tools, and then being the person who coordinates everybody and gets them all going in the right direction so that you achieve those purposes. It's a circle. All right, so have fun doing all that, and if you need help, we're here. If you like the video, please share it with others and give us a like. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure and subscribe. I've done 87 or 90 videos now, so we have a private channel that you can subscribe to. So have a good day, do well, and I hope I hear from you. Bye.
To get your practice analyzed, contact the Art of Management at 416-466-6217.